Welcome to Oxford News This Week. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Terry Stiles. In this week's news, a house fire claims 2 lives in Lake Orion. The search for an Oxford Village manager continues, and a golf outing is hosted by Christ the King Church.
Stay tuned to learn more about these stories and others. The Oxford News begins right now. An explosion and fire at the home in Orion Township Wednesday night claimed the lives of husband and wife Bruce and Kathy Dominguez, age 65 and 57. Rescued by neighbor David Moen, daughter Kim, who is 29, escaped with minor scratches. The cause of the explosion still remains under investigation. Bruce and Kathy are survived by their 3 daughters, Kim, Angeline, and Joyce. This week, neighbors discovered the contents of the family shed was recently stolen. How about that, huh? If anyone knows who may be involved in the theft, please contact Lake Orion Police.
When it comes to the Village Municipal Complex on Burdick Street, Oxford Village officials are feeling a bit like empty nesters. With the departure of the Township Parks and Recs Department on August 7th, the remaining occupants of that portion of the building are the Chamber of Commerce office and the Downtown Development office. Currently, that totals 1 occupant, Nicole Sturrett of the Chamber. The topic of what to do with the Village Complex was once again discussed by the Council during a June 27th workshop meeting. The estimated cost to bring the former township space up to code ranges from $70,000 to $100,000, according to officials who are grappling with fixing up the empty space and leasing it, or let a tenant make the needed improvements and give an abatement on the rent. In 2015, village residents voted to approve selling that complex, which council could also consider. We will wait for more news.
It appears the search for a new Oxford Village manager is going to continue while the interim manager stays on. At a June workshop, Village President Sue Bassardet reported the search committee recommended interim manager James Federino continue to bring additional candidates for consideration. So far, Council has interviewed only 1 candidate, Timothy McLean, during a special meeting on June 15th. Councilman Dave Bailey did not attend that meeting, but did watch the video of McLean's interview. Bailey was pleased with McLean, but would like a choice, which means having at least 2 additional candidates.
In a 4-to-1 vote, the Oxford School Board approved proposed changes to the district's sexuality and reproduction curriculum. The high school curriculum includes the infographic breakdown of gender identity, gender expression, biological sex, and sexual orientation. In 7th grade, the changes to the curriculum will include the addition of sections on gender identity, sexual orientation, and gender stereotypes or equality. And at the 5th grade level, class materials and video will be updated to reflect current statistics during lessons on puberty.
Music from exotic instruments filled the Oxford Public Library this week as the storytellers based out of Grosse Pointe entertained and educated local children enjoying summer break. Instruments from around the world were showcased as Robert and Audrey Allison performed and gave enthusiastic kids in the audience opportunities to play. Using her animated multi-voice storytelling talents, Audrey told the kids a few tales that were not only high entertaining but imparted valuable life lessons about the importance of diversity and listening to their parents.
And finally, Christ the King Church will host a golf outing fundraiser on Sunday, July 30th at Boulder Point Golf Club in Oxford Township. Shotgun start for the 4-person scramble begins at 1 p.m. along with a dinner at 6 p.m. Prizes will be awarded for the longest drive, closest to the pin, and the first and second place winners. Tickets for the full event will be sold for $85 each, and the tickets for dinner will only be sold for $35. All proceeds will benefit the Christ the King Church Youth Ministry and will help local youths to attend Spring Hill Camp. That's it for Oxford News this week. If you'd like to learn more about these stories and others, you can catch us on our website, occtv.org, or on YouTube, and of course, on our regular charter channel 191 or AT&T channel 99.
And coming up soon, OCTV's very own Cody Wright with the Sports Report. And don't miss All the Talk and Science in the News with Dave Kenny.
I'm Terry Stiles, and that's it for Oxford News this week, where we bring your news closer to home.
And I'm Elgin Nichols. Remember, always be kind to your friends and neighbors, and thanks for watching.
Welcome to Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny, and these stories are taken from the publication New Scientist. In our first story, it's a sex-laced mystery. If modern humans didn't reach Europe until about 60,000 years ago, how has DNA from them turned up in a Neanderthal fossil in Germany from 124,000 years ago? The answer seems to be that there was a previous migration of early humans more than 219,000 years ago, one that we've only just started to reveal from piecemeal evidence, that is DNA extracted from fossilized bones. The story, as far as we knew it, was that ancestors of modern humans diverged from Neanderthals and Denisovans about 550,000 and 765,000 years ago. While Neanderthals and Denisovans inhabited Eurasia, modern humans stayed in Africa until about 60,000 years ago. Then they entered Europe too. There is ample evidence of breeding between Neanderthals and the ancestors of modern humans some 50,000 years ago. Everyone knows Neanderthals gave us genes, says Cosimo Post of the Max Planck Institute for the Science and Human History in Leipzig, Germany. Analysis of mitochondrial DNA from a Neanderthal femur found in southwestern Germany now adds to evidence that there was earlier interbreeding. The DNA in the energy-producing mitochondria in our cells is different from that in our cell nuclei and is passed only down through the female line. Puzzlingly, the mitochondrial DNA in Neanderthal bones is more similar to that of modern humans than it was to that of Denisovans. Post and his colleagues looked at differences between the mitochondrial DNA in this femur and in other Neanderthals and used mutational rates to calculate that the bone is 124,000 years old. The approach also indicates that this Neanderthal split from all other known Neanderthals somewhere between 316,000 and 219,000 years ago. Yet it still contains key elements of early human mitochondrial DNA. This means that modern human ancestors must have interbred with Neanderthals before 219,000 years ago and hence could have migrated out of Africa and into Europe much earlier than we thought. We are realizing more and more that the evolutionary history of modern and archaic humans was a lot more reticulated than we would have thought 10 years ago, says team member Fernando Racimo at the New York Genome Institute, or Center, that is. This and previous findings are lending support to models with frequent interbreeding events. The team says an earlier migration event is also compatible with evidence of archaeological similarities between Africa and Western Eurasia. It would be interesting to analyze multiple lines of evidence of possible connectivity between continents and see if there was potential contact that spread not only genes but also cultural information, Post says. The results also suggest that Neanderthals had a much greater genetic diversity and a larger population than we realized. And on the physics front, the proton has lost a little of its bulk. The latest assessment of the subatomic particle's mass is 3 times more precise than before and makes it 30 billionths of a percent lighter than we thought. Sven Sturm at the Max Planck Institute for Nuclear Physics in Heidelberg, Germany, and his colleagues used an electron beam to rip electrons from atoms inside a vacuum seal can, freeing protons. The team trapped a single proton in a combination of electric and magnetic fields using a setup known as a penning trap. By measuring the proton's velocity as it moved in circles in the magnetic field, the team could calculate its mass. The new mass could help us fine-tune experiments that aim to understand why the amount of matter in the universe dwarfs antimatter, says Makoto Fujiwara, who works on the alpha antimatter experiment at CERN. More precise measurements of the proton would make it easier to look at discrepancies between it and the anti-proton. No one is yet sure why these results disagree with previous ones. It could be an indication of new physics or simply an error in the experiment that the researchers overlooked, says Peter Moore of the Committee for Data and Science and Technology. It's also known as CODATA, which publishes standard scientific values. This means CODATA will have to carefully consider how it uses the new value, he says. Sturm and his colleagues plan to repeat and refine the measurement. Good luck. In our last story, copy that. Ground cuckoos in Central and South America seem to mimic the sounds made by the pig-like peccaries they live alongside, perhaps to ward off predators. Sybil Biondo of the Federal University of ABC in Brazil and her team analyzed the cuckoo's bill-clacking sounds. The sounds were distinct from the bill clacks of the closely related roadrunner, but similar to the sounds peccaries make when they clack their teeth to warn off big cats. Biondo thinks the cuckoos might imitate the peccaries to deter predators, particularly since hunters rely on hearing in the dark, dense forests where the cuckoos and peccaries live. Those birds are not cuckoo. Well, that's it for this edition of Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny. Stay tuned to Oxford Community Television.
What's going on, guys? Cody Wright here with the Sports Report. This week we're going to dive back in with the rec softball U14 girls and the seniors. The girls took on Birmingham last week at Seymour Lake Park and took the win in a high-scoring game of 15-13. By the looks of the final, you can tell the girls were batting well on both sides, and we're just glad we came out on top. Anyhow, the rec league is focused on fun and development, and I think it is safe to say that we saw just that. Let's take a look and see what the girls had to say.
Okay, I'm here with the girls. Girls, this is 3 games now in a row, right?
Yeah.
How about the game before Monday? Can't remember. Did we win? Did we win? Okay.
We won, right? Yeah, we won.
Well, it was a great. Who was that left fielder who made that beautiful play? Good job out there.
Thanks.
Yeah. You had put it on the spot. Great job today. Good job pitching again, Caitlin.
Thank you.
Were you nervous there? We had just a few run lead.
Not really.
Really? Oh, okay. Well, good. I was nervous. Well, you had 3 singles today.
Yeah, I did. I'm really proud of myself, actually.
Well, you should be. Everybody did really well. We hit good. We fielded good. Everything. Anybody want to say anything to Mom and Dad and stuff?
Yeah, I do.
What?
I'm still eating.
Honey Nut Cheerios. Remember that, okay? Well, there you go. Good luck in the next game, girls, okay? All right. All right. Well, have a good night, and thank you. All right. And me, for Rod Wright and OCTV, we want to say good night and thank everybody for watching. Thank you, girls. Can you say you're watching OCTV again? All right, let's do it again. 1, 2, 3.
You're watching OCTV.
That was perfect.
The senior softball team is now on a 2-game winning streak. We took on Rochester last week and ended with a final of 24-12, and the following week we mercied our opponents as well. All this winning meant that we could get some interviews. Let's look at what Coach John Calkins and team founding fathers had to say about it all.
First baseman Paul Cervenak, good day today.
It was a good day. The team showed up to play. We haven't done that since you guys started filming.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking maybe we were jinxing it.
Oh, not at all. We jinx ourselves.
You know, everybody got a hit today. Everybody.
They did, and if they didn't, they marked the scorecard so that they showed that they did. We're a creative team.
So what's the history of this team? You were saying you were one of the first guys.
I'm one of the charter members. Actually, when this league or this team started back in 2005, I believe, Bill Devine was our coach.
Okay.
And John, I think, came on that year too, but I don't recall there's anyone else on the team that were original between the two of us. I moved out of the area till this year and came back to join the team again.
Hey, there goes Brooks Robinson right there. Mike.
Oh, Mike and I.
Mike, come on, Mike.
Mike and I actually were part of the original charter team.
You guys were the charter team, hey, from the beginning?
Yeah, it's been 11, 12 years now, yeah. When I used to be a young guy, 55, I could play this ball, really. I'm blessed to still get out here and with these guys, camaraderie and everything else, and still represent Oxford, even though I am retired.
I'm glad, yeah, and you didn't leave Oxford, too. That's great,
And there's a moral basis that's formed with Mike and I being on the team that otherwise would not be here. Sure. There's no swearing in the dugout, except for Mike on occasion. And
I have to watch it on camera now, being especially home,
you can dub that out.
Any bleeps on me this year? I don't know.
No, none this year.
All right, that's good.
Yeah. Well, I think, what was the team that did a lot of this swearing? I think one of the Rochester teams.
Oh, yeah, I remember those. Yeah, they get their goat going, and you'd have to put in a lot of bleeps there if we were.
That's right. But you don't see that so much in Oxford. We have a traditional based community, and I think a lot of that morality is kind of seeps over into the way people talk. And this is a really polite team when you think about it.
we've been covering you guys for 4 years, and this has been fantastic. That's what
I mean. Hit it on the head. It's just a great team, great bunch of guys, and we're all seniors. We do bad every now and then, but nobody gets down on each other, and we just kind of move on. As you can say, that last game, well, at least we came back now and kind of proved ourselves a little more today than Monday.
I'm seeing a lot more teeth today, I'll tell you. Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's been
since we walked out of here Monday, right?
I couldn't get an interview. I couldn't get one guy.
You know, speaking of teeth, I have to remind myself, Vinny was one of the original charter members as well.
That's true.
Oh, yeah, Vinny, yeah.
Yep.
And his golf outing, and he's a great guy.
Absolutely. He's very much into the community, into fundraising and charities. The one thing about Vinny, I don't know if you noticed, he wears shirt number 1, and we all realize today it's because he just goes to first base. He goes no further.
John Calkins, big hitting today.
Johnny, come on over here for a minute.
Come on over,
John.
We're talking about the team and the history of the team. And has Health Quest been sponsoring us for how long now?
2007.
Okay,
We started in 2006 in the bar. What's that other bar you go to downtown?
Who are we trying to think?
Across the street.
The Tap?
Tap.
The Tap was
Tap.
our original sponsor.
And then they came. Healthquest came on board in 2007 with Bill Devine, and we got full uniforms. All these pants are from 2007. So, the team's been here since 2006. So,
Yeah, this is a new uniform this year.
5 championships in last 5 years.
How many of the guys are still together? These guys been together
4 or 5 of us.
from the original team.
Yeah. Paul was one of the originals. Chief was one of the originals. I'm one. Vinny and Rand. And that's about all. Yeah, 5 of us.
That's a lot of people to keep together that many years.
It's a lot of years to leave on the field at our age.
Yeah, really. Well, let's give compliments where it is. He's a great coach. He keeps us together, and that's what makes a great team. Is John?
Thank you.
It really is.
Thank you. Well, you've been done this before. No, it's all players. You know that.
Absolutely.
Secret to success is to surround yourself with good people.
You know, you're right. You're right. Good people.
Right here.
Yep. This is a great community.
That's great. Yeah, we got good people.
Well, we know about that. We're OCTV. That's all we do is and everything, even from the schools all the way up, and the people, the business owners downtown. This is a great community.
It is, and we're lucky to be a part of it.
Yes, we are. And it takes good people like you.
We put fun in the game. If these guys don't have fun, it's no fun. Like last Monday, we didn't have fun.
That was no fun.
No fun at all.
We're having fun now.
4th of July to all of our fans. Thank you.
Yes, and I want to say happy 4th of July to everybody here.
It's great to see those guys having a great time and winning. As you can tell, they haven't lost their competitive edge one bit. Well, that's just about all for this week's news. If you want to see these summer games yourself, go to Seymour Lake Park and enjoy the game while watching some softball. You can also catch our coverage of the games at OCCTV.org. On our YouTube page, there is plenty for you guys to look at. So what are you waiting for? That is OCCTV.org. But that's all for this week. Until next time, I'm Cody Wright. We'll see you soon.
Hi, I'm Julie Hogan. Welcome to your weekly calendar of events, where we feature your weekly community events for Oxford and Addison Township, including charity, special fundraisers, and general community information. If you or your organization would like us to help you get your message out to our viewing public, please contact us at 248-628-9658 or go to our website, occtv.org. Round up your family and friends and come join us at the annual Oxford Lone Ranger Parade and Festival on Saturday, August 5th in downtown Oxford. In case you didn't know, the original Lone Ranger, Brace Bremer, was a fellow resident of Oxford along with his horse Silver, who lived on his farm. This event was created to share the values that the Lone Ranger held dear to his heart. The festival begins at 10 a.m. with all kinds of great events for young and old. The kids will love the Kids Corral, which hosts a mechanical bull, blow-ups, bounce house, petting zoo, and more. Best of all, it's free. For the rest of the crew, check out all the fun stuff happening in Centennial Park, such as ironwork, log carving, and live entertainment. There will also be great exhibits about the Lone Ranger at the museum. And of course, don't forget to catch the famous parade that starts at 11 a.m. You won't want to miss it. In addition to all the great festival events, the Oxford United Methodist Church invites you to an ice cream social from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It'll be held at the church located at 21 East Burdick Street in Oxford. Tickets are only $3 and it helps support great church missions and educational programs. Some of these include the Community Free Meals Program and youth ministry programs that serve our community children. If interested in helping this worthy cause, you can make donations or purchase tickets by by calling Bob Willoughby at 248-628-2357. Speaking of the Lone Ranger Parade, attention all businesses. The Oxford Leader and Sherman Publications are sponsoring a contest in an effort to motivate local businesses to build some great floats. They're donating a 6-week advertising campaign valued at $1,500 to the business that constructs the best float. With a little planning, a trailer, and some help from your staff and friends, you can create a float that not only enhances the parade experience for all, but promotes your business and shows your community spirit. Businesses interested in donating money, services, or volunteering for the Lone Ranger Parade effort, please contact Rod Charles or Mary Ellen Faulkner via email at homeofthemask@gmail.com or by calling 248-371-9100. Quick reminder to bring a seat and come join your neighbors every Thursday for downtown Oxford's Concerts in the Park. This event is free and runs every Thursday at Centennial Park until August 24th. The open mic starts at 6 p.m. with the concert starting at 7. The next event is this Thursday, July 13th with Toppermost, a musical group that features your favorite Beatles tributes. You can get the upcoming schedule and featured groups by going to the website downtownoxford.org and clicking on events. Speaking of festivals, let's talk strawberries. Come join in the festivities at the 65th Annual Strawberry Festival in Leonard. This event, hosted by the Addison Township Firefighters, will be held on Saturday, July 15th. There will be, of course, lots of delicious strawberry treats, as well as many family activities planned. There will be a parade, kids' activities, fire truck rides, car show, and much more. New for this year is the Leonard Soapbox Derby Race. For these events in the calendar and more information, please go to the website at strawberryfest.net. I'd also like to mention that the Village of Leonard Summer Festival Committee is always welcoming new members. This group was formed to enhance the experience of the well-established Strawberry Festival by adding a variety of activities and events to the Firefighter Strawberry Sunday sales. This volunteer group works year-round to raise money through potlucks, charity poker, fundraising, and donations. Their success has enabled the festival attendees to enjoy multiple free activities in a family-friendly atmosphere that won't break the bank. If you'd like to join this committee, please contact Chairperson Phyllis Rowe at dproe@att.net or call her at 248-709-2678. If you own a business, belong to an organization, or a local resident just wishing to show your support for our school programs, music concerts, or many of the other programs broadcast by our TV station, you can become a sponsor or underwriter for OCTV. A promotional spot will be created just for you, and our broadcast announcers will give you continuous recognition. It's a great way to promote your organization. For more information, contact our station manager, Bill Service, at 248-628-9658 or email him at manager@occtv.org. Also, don't forget, you can locate our OCTV program schedule by going to our website and clicking on Schedule. There you'll find a list of great OCTV programs, dates, and times. One program I recommend you check out is Minutes by Minute, hosted by Dave Kinney and Elgin Nichols. These guys will show you how much fun talking about local politics can be. Tune in and check them out. This is Oxford Community TV's weekly calendar of events. I'm your host, Julie Hogan. Join us again next week to learn more about new and exciting events happening in your neighborhood. Until then, make it a great week, and thank you for watching.
Welcome to this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and these stories are taken from the publication Automotive News. In our first story, PSA Group secured unconditional European Union antitrust approval on July 5th to acquire General Motors' German unit Opel, a move that will make it Europe's second largest automaker after the Volkswagen Group. The European Commission said the deal did not pose any competition concerns. Today, we have taken a substantial step. The teams are now focused on the achievement of all other conditions necessary for the closing planned for later this year, Patrice Lucas, PSA's Managers of Programs and Group Strategy, said in a statement. PSA, which produces cars for the Peugeot, Citroën, and DS brands, has pledged to return Opel and its British sister Vauxhall to profit with an operating margin of 2% within 3 years and 6% by 2026, underpinned by 1.7 billion euros in joint cost savings. The proposed transaction, which is valued at 2.2 billion euros, that's $2.5 billion, and was agreed to on March 6, also includes the acquisition of GM's financial operations in Europe by PSA and BNP Paribas. That deal is still under review by EU antitrust officials. A decision is expected in the second half of this year, PSA said in a release. And over at Continental speaker-less cars in-car audio solution reduces weight by up to 90% compared with today's sound systems. However, even the head of advanced development at the supplier's interior division said he was extremely skeptical about going speaker-less. I didn't even want to hear it, says Karsten Michaels, who was reluctant because the quality of sounds produced by other speakerless audio systems he heard was so bad. Michaels had a lot of experience with this topic, which was something he worked on during many years at Volkswagen Group. His impression changed when he listened to Continental's new system. I didn't believe it at first, he said. Continental made Michaels a believer by replacing conventional loudspeakers with actuators that create sound by vibrating certain surfaces inside the vehicle. That means Continental is treating the car itself as an instrument. The expert said the A-pillar is suited for high frequencies, the door panels for medium frequencies, and the roof lining or rear shelf for low frequencies. Today, Michaels wonders whether audio heavyweights such as Bang & Olufsen and Harman ought to be worried. Why? Because it is estimated that the speakers in today's cars add up to 20 kilograms of weight. Continental says its solution cuts that to as little as 2 kilograms, a 90% improvement. Another benefit is that designers gain a lot of box volume. That means they have more space in the car for use as storage or to provide other benefits to the occupants. In addition, Continental says its system uses a fraction of the power that current systems require. If we're moving to electrified autonomous cars, then adding space while subtracting weight will be crucial, potentially putting loudspeakers on the endangered species list. Continental feels confident in its ability to succeed in this sector because of its expertise in vehicle noise, vibration and harshness, acoustics and manufacturing. The German supplier asked experts to rate the acoustics of a solution and said it received top scores from master luthier and physicist Martin Schletzky of Germany. On the recall front, Mazda North America is recalling 227,800 Mazda 3 and Mazda 6 vehicles because parking brakes may drag when driving or slip when cars are parked on a slope, increasing the chance of a crash. The recall includes the Mazda 3 from 2014 and 2016 model years and the Mazda 6 from model years 2014 to 2015. No injuries were reported to the defect, and according to a Mazda spokesman. The company says water could get into the vehicle's brake caliper, causing parking brakes to lose holding force while parked or drag while driving, according to the National Highway Safety Administration's recall report. Mazda will notify dealers of the recall on August 7th. Owners will be made aware starting August 21st. Mazda dealers will check the parking brake actuator shafts inside the brake calipers, and if a shaft is corroded, the caliper will be replaced. If not, the dealer will replace the protective boot kit with improved parts. Mazda first became aware of the defect on the Mazda 6 in 2015 when a brake drag incident was reported in Canada. A U.S. owner also had reported a brake drag incident in 2016. In January of 2017, the automaker began working on a boot replacement kit, which will be available to dealers for recall repairs. There are 13 total reports of the defect in the U.S. Japanese supplier Akebono Brake Industries manufactured the brake components for the Mazda 3 and Mazda 6. Well, that's all for this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and as always, may the wind be at your back as you cruise down life's highways. Stay tuned to Oxford Community Television.
There's a lot of history to Oxford. hidden around every corner, deep in every crack, and sometimes right in front of you, waiting to be discovered. If you just dig a little, you'll find the great history of our beautiful town. Welcome to historic Oxford.